So every Tuesday for the months of April and May, we've been able to go on base, sit in their courtyard, and just have soldiers come. And we've just been talking about the Bible. Easter Sunday was another big milestone for us. We celebrated our first set of baptisms.
Hey guys, Brian O'Day here. I'm one of the pastors of Pillar Church of Jacksonville, North Carolina, right outside of Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune. Also serve as executive director of the Praetorian Project, and I am joined today by Noah Clifton. Noah, where are you at these days?
Hey Brian, it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm Noah Clifton. I am in the Panhandle of Florida, 45 miles east of Pensacola, about 20 to 15 miles northwest of Destin, in a small town called Crestview, and we're right outside of
Small
that.
but growing town of
Yes.
Crestview, Florida.
We have been the fastest growing town in the state of Florida for like 10 of the last 15 years. And so Crestview
Awesome.
is on the up and up.
And so if you're 45 minutes east of Pensacola, Florida, that means you're less than 100 miles east of Alabama. Is that accurate?
Yes.
You're
Uh,
probably what, like 60 miles east of Alabama.
yeah, depending on which way you go, you can
Yeah.
get to Alabama in about 30 minutes. Because
Yeah.
if you go north, because we're kind of right south. People call Crestview LA for Lower Alabama. And
Gotcha. But you are a good days plus drive from Miami, Florida.
oh yeah, we're very far from Miami. Florida's a big state,
It's
and
a
Miami
big, deceptively big state. All right.
is
Well,
also
tell us
huge.
about Pillar Crestview and just her history and what's your role at Pillar Crestview?
Yeah, so my role is I'm one of the pastors and planting partner. My other partner is Alex Chapman. He was an elder at Pillar Dumfries for a long time, and then last summer him and his wife and me and my wife and a couple others from our core team moved from Dumfries, Virginia, also from Fort Worth, Texas, to down to Crestview, Florida,
Yeah.
and you started doing core team meetings and small core team worship services. Started that about September, and then come November, Veterans Day weekend of 2023, we launched officially as a church plant and started holding public worship services. Really great experience. Got to have a lot of great conversations with people that weekend. A lot of close family and good friends of uh, me and my wife, but also just the Praetorian Project. Brian, you were down there. Colby Garman was down here. A couple other Praetorian Project people came down just to help celebrate with us as we launched. Since then, we have been just gathering, worshiping, trying to reach the airmen at Eglin Air Force Base. And then also the Army has a special forces unit down here on the north side of the Eglin base. And so we've been trying to reach out to those Army Special Forces families. And so we've been figuring out ways to do that. We're actually partnering with the chaplains for the Army right now and are hosting slash running a Bible study for them. So every Tuesday for the months of April and May, we've been able to go on base, sit in their courtyard, and just have soldiers come. And just been talking about the Bible, and so that's been super fun, super great to have some conversations with them. We just covenanted. We just signed our membership covenants. Our founding members established officially church membership in our church. I think that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember, but yeah, that was just another really big, exciting milestone for the life of our church. And so we're getting ready to have our first official members meeting coming up at the
No.
first week in the first Sunday in June will be our first official members meeting. And so we're looking forward to the future and excited about what God has done and what he's continuing to do in our church. Easter Sunday was another big milestone for us. We celebrated our first set of baptisms. We had 4 baptisms, and
Nice.
it was really, really exciting. We had just a really great Easter service. And yeah, baptisms were like the cherry on top. It was super great just to
Yeah.
celebrate that with our church body. Some of the people who got baptized were like are now some of our founding members. And so it
Yeah.
was just really exciting for the whole church. And starting a new church, those first wave of baptisms, it's
Yeah.
like a milestone. And so it was really, really exciting for our church.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, so Pillar Crestview is now the second youngest church in the Praetorian Project. Norfolk's been planted since then, but you guys started just this past Veterans Day. Give folks a sense. We had, like you mentioned, we had a lot of well-wishers, as I call them, for launch Sunday. Your family, right, and some Alex and Kate's family. Again, I was there. Some folks from Pillar Dumfries were there as well. So, um, give folks an idea. Do you remember like what was your number on launch Sunday, and then what was your number on the second Sunday?
Good questions. I think I'm gonna guesstimate a little bit. I think it was 160, including kids, on launch Sunday. And I think Sunday number two was about 90. And so
160 down to 90. Okay. All right. That gives people a bit of a sense. I generally say on average it cuts in half on the second Sunday.
it was about half.
That's also one of the biggest, maybe the biggest launch Sundays for Praetorian projects.
I didn't know
Just for a point of reference for you and those watching at home, Pillar Church of Jacksonville on launch Sunday 11 plus years ago, we had 33 people,
that.
human beings, and on the second Sunday we had 21. So we had a similar drop off once the
Yeah.
well wishers left, but yeah, we just generally on average we're starting churches with a bigger core team, usually sending guys out two or three planting pastors and their families, plus some other core team members, which I know you guys were able to do. And then really developing a bigger church planting team before we have a public launch. So, man, that's exciting. Anything else? You told us lots of stuff to celebrate, but anything else you guys are celebrating there?
Uh, yeah, I think we're also getting ready to have our second wave of baptisms. I'm praying that we have a few people who are ready to be baptized. We just got to get the logistics worked out of the winds. And so that's super exciting. I've been working with some of the youth, and it's just fun to see these teenagers get
Yeah.
excited about the Bible and excited about Jesus and really start to understand uh, just their faith and start to work that out. And so that's been super exciting. Our youth group is 4 kids right now, but it's just exciting to watch these 4 kids just
Yeah.
love the Lord and get excited about learning about the Bible. So that's been super exciting. We're getting some this PCS season. We're getting some really good people coming into our church.
Hmm.
Some have already moved here, some are moving here over the summer, and so we're really excited to just welcome some people who have already been a part of Pillar Praetorian,
Yeah.
either from afar or at members at other Praetorian Project churches. And so we're just really excited to welcome these families in.
So since you guys are new and you're kind of in a new location and Air Force and Army Special Forces, so where are they coming from?
Yeah, and so a lot of people we're getting some from that are going to make the drive from Pensacola to Crestview, which is about 45 minutes on a Sunday morning. So some people are going to make that drive. We got one guy who just got stationed at Duke Field, which is on Eglin property, and so he had the option to move a couple different places, but decided he's going to plant himself in Crestview so he can be a part of the church really before he got here, just because
Yeah.
some of his close friends have been impacted by Praetorian in a big, powerful way.
Yeah, I mean, I actually mean where, like, what other
Oh
churches
yeah, what other
are?
churches? Dumfries,
Okay.
Pillar Dumfries. We got one family who was at Pillar Jacks
Okay.
a couple years ago, moved down here before we got planted, and then they were living in Pensacola. Marine family, joined our core team, kind of were with us for the whole launch. And then we recently got another family that's been coming from Pillar Jacks. I think we got a few. I got a few contact cards from people from Pillar Stafford that are making their
Okay.
uh, way down here, and one or two from Pillar Dumfries. Kind of a
Okay.
lot of from TBS at Quantico, where Dumfries and Stafford are. They
Okay.
those flight students will come down here for Pensacola.
Yeah. Okay. So still kind of Marine Corps heavy on that side, but making the drive over to Crestview, and Lord willing, we'll have a plant in Pensacola in near
Yeah.
term. So that's exciting. Let's clean up our language slightly because I've got a little insider baseball. There is rumor of a Pillar Church, Jacksonville, Florida,
That
in
is Alex's
years to
goal.
come.
Alex's dream, his goal is to create a problem for the Praetorian Project to have two Pillar Church of Jacksonville's.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna beat you to the problem. We've got a
Probably.
planter in the works, and so that is manifesting itself pretty quickly. So let's call my church Pillar Church of Jacksonville, North Carolina, and Lord willing, in the next year or two, we might have a Jacksonville, Florida as well. That's all rumor mill, nothing official yet, but
Hear it from me. Yeah.
it's fun to think on these things. Well, that's good. How can we be praying for you specifically and or the church?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, we're having our first members meeting. And so, as exciting as that is, it also is a growing step for our church. And so, just prayers that Alex, Dale, and I, as the leadership, can lead well with that, that our members can be unified. Yeah, that's another prayer request. Just our church body and leadership to be just be unified on the gospel, unified in our mission, and not to let the enemy have a foothold in our church. And then yeah, prayers that we can reach the families at Eglin and the seventh group, the Army Special Forces group. They just, I mean, Special Forces families have a unique, military families have a unique challenge. Special Forces have a very unique challenge. And so just trying to love and minister to them is challenging. And so just prayers for us that we could be patient, wait on the Lord, and to trust that He's going to open the right doors for us to walk through.
Hmm. Praise God. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for giving us an update, Noah. If you have listened to this video to this point, I encourage you to do two things. One, I want to encourage you to consider to take time now before you move on with the rest of your day. Take time to pray for Noah Clifton and for Pillar Church of Crestview, Florida. The other thing is, I'd encourage you to consider partnering financially with Pillar Church of Crestview. They are still in that phase, infant phase of a church plant where they are reliant on external giving. And so I would encourage you to do that. You can reach out to myself. You can reply to the email if you're seeing this video on email, or you can comment on the threads in YouTube, reach out to us, or you can just go to Crestview's website, pillarcrestview.com. Did I get it right?
Yes,
And
sir.
you can find some information on how to give there. But we'd love to connect you personally with Noah and or
Mhm.
Alex and or Dale to so that you can learn and get to know and build a relationship with them, and also consider partnering with them in this important work. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching this video. I love you guys.